Yo, something slightly different today. I had a video already on this, but some might not know. I've already been on level 21 for quite some time with my main character, with my blind playthrough. What I'm uploading to YouTube at the moment, but I can't upload as quick as as much as I'm playing, so I decided to theory craft on the side so I don't record as much, because I can't really upload as much anyway. And because I'm quite progressed in the game now, I have learned a few things I didn't know before. And one of the main things I've learned is that since you stop leveling up quickly at level 21, you level up very quickly to level 21. Then in combat you only level control life from that point on, except if you go and kill all the Archons, then you can get, I think, to level 23 or 24. So yeah, 21 is pretty much end of the line for the most part of the game. And some skills are fixed and some skills are not fixed. What value you will get in those skills. For example, your dodge or your parry, whatever you choose to be your main skill to avoid attacks, that is pretty much the base value of that skill will always be the same when you reach level 21. If you have a shield equipped, obviously you will have more shown. Your actual value will be higher than when you have no shield equipped. But the base value will be the same, no matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you level when you level up, if you train dodge. It's not gonna change anything. It doesn't matter if you train something else. You're always gonna end up at, let's say you take a shield and you take one single shield talent, the 40% talent. You will end up with around 190 dodge or parry, whatever you choose. It doesn't matter, it doesn't make a difference. Then you can get plus 10 from a parry item, so you will be at 200. You might end up having 10 more points or something like that, but you're not gonna have much more than that. On the other hand, what can vary greatly is your attack skill. You see already in my playthrough, from what I've uploaded so far, I'm at level 17. I believe 17 or 19 is what I uploaded, something around that. And you will already see that since I switched to one-handed halfway through at level 11 or level 12, something like that, my one-handed skill is not very high. My dodge is actually, yeah, it's actually getting towards the magical 190, 200-ish. I can't stop it. I will end up with that value at level 21. And that, even though I played without a shield for the first half of the game. It didn't change any of my levels. It remained the same. I switched to a shield and boom, I ended up with having the same value other people who always played with a shield would end up with. That is solo, of course. That doesn't apply to party play. But yeah, how much you actually...
The year is 431.
How much you actually get your attack skill. That is something you can influence. You can max your attack skill. So this character here, my idea is to use throwing weapons and one-handed. and to use one-handed only for riposte. A very cool thing is because throwing weapons actually count as a one-handed weapon, a melee weapon and a ranged weapon at the same time. Believe it or not, while you throw a throwing weapon, you can riposte, which is really cool. And
Will do.
this might contradict what I just said about leveling your attack skill as high as possible. But keep in mind, with my original build, I leveled unarmed and throwing weapons,
Useless.
then totally went away from both those skills and went to one-handed. That was not ideal at all. But what I'm now gonna do is I'm gonna mainly level my throwing weapons, and with abilities and with riposte I will level my one-handed.
Will do.
That's what's gonna happen. And I already played with this playstyle till Ascension Hall, and I had my throwing weapons at over 100 and my one-handed was at something like 80, and that was on level 11. So you will end up with very high values in both those skills, because riposte always automatically will level one-handed, and of course whenever I use thrust or double blows, whatever.
Will do.
But what is cool about this build idea is that you draw the aggro from the melee guys who attack you, but you do not need to attack these guys back. You attack whatever target you wish with your throwing weapon, and the melee guys will still take damage from your riposte, especially later on with volcanic weapon. We've seen that in my blind playthrough. Volcanic weapon and riposte is just very OP. So what we'll be going here in the early game, going for, is we want to try and get full riposte till Ascension Hall. Maybe even a bit earlier. Full riposte, full parry, we want to get a parry to 130, 140, maybe even 150. We'll see.
Try and catch me.
But yeah, we'll also try to get our throwing weapons
Are you serious?
as high as possible. And a one-handed on the side through the riposte and through the special abilities, which are melee. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in some edits. You might already have seen that I edited out the part where I got the items on this map, which are before you even start fighting. I did get those items as you saw in my inventory, but I didn't record it for the video. And what I'm gonna be doing here now, I'm gonna get to level 2, and after I get to level 2,
I got it.
I'll skip to level 3. And so on. I just always show the level ups and some fighting which is connected with the level ups. So I went with
Right.
throwing weapons and with flurry of blows with dual wielding. Not because I want to dual wield, but I wanted to have one agility talent point, so I can get the arrow shield talent right away, which is gonna be now at level 2. So that way I use my parry against ranged and against melee, and also
Is that a jest?
I'll be able to get duelist, which gives you riposte right when we level to level 3. So that's actually a pretty good build, because at the start you can fight quite a few melee enemies, and for example the sun soldiers, they start out as ranged, but as soon as you go in melee distance they switch over to melee. And yeah, we'll see if we'll be able to not split pole as much as we did in our first playthrough. That will be our goal. Our goal will be to aggro whole mobs. So no idea how it's gonna work out, but I hope it will work out very well. But our main goal for this build is not the early game at all. Our main goal for this build, why I wanna go with throwing weapons as Malices. You know those Banes that stay at range but that steal your attributes, and also if you go into melee distance they fuck over all your buffs, no matter how many buffs you have on yourself. You have mirror image, you have haste, all those tasty buffs, you have volcanic weapon. They'll all melt away when you go in melee distance of a Malice. So my idea behind this build is just to have the throwing weapons to take out targets at range. In the low level if you want to take out an archer or a sage, and in the high level those nasty Malices. So you can build an OP build many different ways, but since I now at level 21, the only enemies I detest are those Malices. That's why I'm building a build like this. I really like theory crafting. I really like testing out new builds and, you know, spend time in character creation. That is something I really love to do. And this game gives you a lot of leeway, because there's a lot of different approaches, and also because of the way your leveling up works, that you can level up early and a lot, but if you spread your skills very far, your attack will suck. So yeah, here we are at level 2. So my idea is really to have huge offense to get the maximum of our attack, but still not just specialize on one-handed, but also go with a thrown weapon. I'm pretty sure it will be possible to have around 160, 170 skill
Will do.
in both of those. That is what I'm personally aiming for. I mean, you can get like 200 in one of both if you just go with one. And that's perfectly fine, that's already OP. You will be doing so much damage. But I want utility, and those thrown weapons give me the extra utility.
On it.
So yeah, we get a very interesting bug here. I haven't encountered this before. For some reason, I didn't realize what was going on at first, but I'm stuck in the animation
I got it.
of this, as you can see, and I can't move, I can't do anything. I had to reload and do this fight again.
Sorry, I can't.
Which kind of sucked, but I think I ended up with a little more points in parry compared to dodge, so I was fine with that. So because I didn't max finesse, I have slightly more dodge than parry, but it doesn't matter too much. You can max either of those first. So here we are at level 3, now I'm gonna max finesse next. And after that will come might. And yeah, as I said, as talent we now can directly go with Riposte. You're not gonna see much of that in this fight because I wanted to show something funny. And also here's our item, so as you can see I bought the Riposte Javelin because I think it's a pretty good early game weapon. You can get the bleed of that weapon on Riposte, which is actually pretty cool. some extra utility for early game riposte. We don't have volcanic weapon yet. I sadly didn't get multi-strike gauntlets, because that would even heighten the chance of getting the bleed. But I might still get them. This shield is, I think, a fixed drop, I don't know, but I got it in the Scarlet Fury, no, what they call the Scarlet Chorus camp, that's right. The locked chest all the way behind the tents, that's where I got it. So level 3, and originally I intended to just show how riposte works, now already at low level. But then I changed my mind and wanted to go with something funny. It's not that special actually, but whatever. It's all fun and games. So here I'm getting 2 magic spells. These are actually pretty useful for early game spells. And since you're gonna max, or you're gonna level your lightning, fire, frost, all that stuff, you're gonna level that anyway once you use stuff like freezing grip together with volcanic weapon. So you might as well use these spells early on. You easily can kill both these guys on your own with this build, but I decided to show something pretty unique. Usually NPCs ignore, friendly NPCs ignore the enemies. But on this map something different happens. The 2 guys who originally attacked me go crazy, disengage all day, and run after these disfavored guys and these Scarlet Chorus guys. So it's insanity. These guys just keep disengaging, running around. You know, I'm trying to go after them. This is not build specific, of course. You can do this with any build. It's just stupid AI. The other guy had enough, runs back to his main position. And now, because the friendly NPCs took damage, they go crazy, go after him too. And that's rip your health. But something else I wanted to show, which wasn't seen in my blind playthrough, is that if you go with different conquest choices, you saw at the beginning I showed my conquest. You get some extra content. I mean, of course you're gonna lose some of the content you would have gotten with other conquest choices, but yeah, I think this one is pretty cool. So for going to Apex and siding with the Scarlet Chorus, we get this raised village, which is a map. There's just loot, there's nothing else. And you can get something pretty good. I didn't get anything special here this time, but I tested this build out till Ascension Hall before I did this, and I actually got an Assassin's Light Leather Vest, which has 4 base armor, which is just insane for this low level, and also it has a crit multiplier, I think 15% or something. But what is fixed on this map is up here you always get 100% health healing potion. So that's pretty cool to get this early in the game. And you also get a ton of camping supplies, which you'll never use probably, but yeah, you get the point. And then down there's a hidden item. I think that is where I actually got the awesome Assassin's Leather Vest. But I didn't get it this time, I just got some random stuff. Yeah, something extra I just wanted to show. And also, for the first 2, or for level 2 and level 3, I did not train my parry. Just for the sole reason that at the start you level your parry so much just by running around. as I said, you will end up, when you're level 21, you will end up with the same value in parry or dodge, whatever you choose anyway. So what I did for the first levels, I actually trained throwing weapons. So for level 2 and level 3. Once I get to level 4 though, I will train parry, just to max out our parry, which we get for Ascension Hall, so we can riposte better. So my goal is to get at least 130 parry, but maybe we might get 150, I don't know. So see you then.